Exit the King by Eugene Ionesco in a new version by Patrick Marber, starring Rhys Ifans at the National Theatre. Exit the King is about how we come to terms with the shocking fact that we're all going to die. Because, as a character says in the play, everyone is the first person ever to die. Patrick Marber has done a brilliant job both as director and as the adapter of Ionesco's original play. It sounds contemporary and there are funny lines galore, and there is still Ionesco's intention that we should know we're witnessing a play. The king is even told early on, "You are going to die," at the end of the play. Oh, what a king. Rhys Ifans is extraordinary as he goes through denial and anger and all the other emotions and physically declines before our eyes. He sounds like one of those declamatory stage actors of old, like Laurence Olivier, and his physical comedy conjures up the likes of, say, Jerry Lewis. He's supported by Indira Varma as the cool first queen, Amy Morgan as the not-so-dumb blonde second queen, and Debra Gillett, hilarious, as the irreverent servant. Adrian, Scarborough and Griffiths complete an all-round superb cast. My only disappointment was that the ending felt dragged out and momentum was lost. Oh, and credit where it's due to set designer Anthony Ward. So often designers are defeated by the size of the Olivier stage, but he has the small cast at the front for most of the play, with the big crumbling palace wall behind them, and then there's an amazing end where the set disappears and the whole grand canyon of the stage area opens up as the king dies and fades into eternity. I give Exit the King 4 stars. Well, that's my 1 minute and a bit review. Keep watching to find out which critics agreed and which disagreed with my verdict on Exit the King. For all the latest news and reviews, subscribe to my podcast, Theatre News Weekly. So how did the theatre critics react to Patrick Marber's new version of Ionesco's Exit the King? Well, it seems I'm out of step with most of them, who were lukewarm on the whole. But let's start with someone who, like me, gave it 4 stars. Radio Times said, "Marber has breathed new life into a work that feels like a neglected gem." And Susanna Clapp in The Observer, while only awarding 3 stars, did say, "Marber's drama turns out to be humane as well as brainy." Dominic Cavendish's 3-star review in The Telegraph was less complimentary. Put bluntly, he said, "When the existentialist element is to the fore, you feel the cosmic shiver of the human condition. When the evening attempts lowercase absurdist larks, you may be afflicted by shudders of boredom." Time Out's 3-star review said, "It's baggy and raggedy and outstays its welcome." The Guardian's 3-star review said, "There's nothing wrong with the presentation. It's the play itself that, by seeking to combine a classical form with absurdist senselessness, promises more than it delivers." One of the worst was What's on Stage's 2-star review. It opined, "What felt absurd in 1963 looks antiquated today. Its new text is merely cosmetic work on a corpse." And the Stage's 3-star review agreed that the production feels a bit creaky and inert. The majority seem to feel that it's not a great play, but it was saved by Rhys Ifans. The aforementioned Radio Times said, as the king, Rhys Ifans is irresistible, declaiming his lines in a glorious Peter O'Toole voice, but behaving like a petulant child who refuses to accept his fate. Time Out said Rhys Ifans is a marvel. He physically crumbles before our eyes via a decrepit sort of slapstick until his body almost seems turned to dust. Broadway World's 3-star review said, "Ifans is impressive. In the beginning he has a chaotic energy, despite his weakness, that commands the stage. But by the end, he seems a shell of a man." And The Guardian said, "Ifans has exactly the right air of tyrannical authority tinged with terror." Other members of the cast were also praised, and in particular Indira Varma, whom The Observer called commanding. Interestingly, while Broadway World said the play is less funny than one would expect, The Guardian said there are more laughs than you might expect, which goes to show how well you think of a play partly depends on your expectations. Dominic Cavendish in The Telegraph seemed disappointed it wasn't a Rodgers and Hammerstein musical. 20 years on from a life-affirming NT revival of Oklahoma, I felt the odd pang for the crowd-pleasing reign of Good King Trevor. Well, he may be right that the current era with Rufus Norris in charge at the National is very different to that of Trevor Nunn. It's certainly more challenging, more experimental, and yes, more depressing. But then maybe society is more pessimistic these days. I too love a cheerful musical, but this comedy about the absurdity of human existence seemed to me very appropriate to the times we live in. As Mr. Cavendish himself said, there's no denying the uses, even in a heat wave, of a chilling memento mori. If you found this YouTube review useful, please subscribe to future reviews by clicking the icon below. Thank you for watching.